Recently, I've had the great idea of doing Starlight Inquisition and Noobs in Economy, but I wanted to do a sheep strat because I don't want to actually try. So I just hired a bunch of free labor and two foremen and the construction work. But mostly free labor. This has led to a surprising realization. Turns out that Noobs in Economy is actually not balanced and it's actually very easy to win the game. I don't even know why people have ever struggled in Starlight Inquisition. It's literally the easiest map ever. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Now, the strategy was simple. We used miners, or workers, and just have some fun. Now, by have some fun, I mean I build a few more outposts and keep on mass producing workers, like there's no tomorrow. This turns out to be sort of effective. It turns out that a tank isn't exactly that great up against, I don't know, 10 workers, sometimes 20. It just depends how many there are in the nearby surroundings, or how many enemies there are. Now for this strategy to work, you're gonna want to do one thing. That is, have a friend. Because if you don't, you're really gonna suffer. Because you'll have less workers, so less free labor. Now, you're also gonna want to be spamming pro-work propaganda. Well, at least with your friend, because I didn't spam it in chat here. Just remember, it's always good to remind your workers that they will get a raise if they get out. If they get 3-star veterancy, they'll get a raise once they get out. And remember, just send those guys to the front lines so that they die faster. Anyways, it's a very wise also. Make sure you trap everyone. Do not let them escape. The moment they get out, you're going to start having trouble. So, I know this is like the most boring part, it's just an introduction, so let's skip to some truly impressive things. For example, when we got 100 workers on the field. Now, you gotta remember, the work will never stop, it's eternal. And what's the work? Well, it's just destroying a few tanks. By the end of the day, you'll have to come back home with some profit. Now, for us, profit is the workers' corpses, since you'll eventually have to pay them if they get out. So remember, it's best to just sacrifice your workers. Now, do not tell your workers that you're sacrificing them. This is a very bad idea. And also remember that you can always just collect free workers. Well, tanks or salarymen in some cases. Now, of course, here I sort of skipped the first outpost capture because my friend dealt with it. So we're now on my outpost capture, which is far easier. Now, why is it far easier? Well, it's because I stopped deploying more workers. At some point, you're going to want to know that there's a limit to how many people you can put down on the map. There's a physical limit. Once you get to a certain point, which I've reached at this point, you can't place any more workers down, or it's just going to be annoying to move them all. Remember, you have to move all your workers every turn, because then you won't be efficient if you don't do it. Plus, you're always going to need more manpower. You always need more manpower. Now, it's always important to remind your workers about work. If you didn't know, workers have a 10-tick salary, every single one of them, that they take every turn for some reason. You're meant to be paying them at the end of the year, but these people are demanding. So to avoid a strike, you're going to want to bring SWAT vans sometimes. But just in case, if your foremen are rioting, you can always replace them with managers and then not use workers. It's about the same result. Now, of course, you're going to be gaining a lot of profit after this. Not just because you're not paying any of your workers, but because the amount of minerals you should be getting from mining all the rectifier things that the enemy has stolen should be enough to even outpace military production at some point. So, remember, you're going to want to not pay your workers. This is very key, that's why I'm stressing it so often. Now, you're also going to remember that your workers are practically free scouts. You're also meat shields as they prevent the enemy from moving. So remember, force them to work. Remember to say lines like, if you don't work, you're getting fired. And lines like, if you work, we might give you money. Remember that every once in a while say, we'll give you a 1 ticks raise. Well, ideally you're going to want to say, you'll triple your salary. Now, why would you want to triple their salary? Well, it's because they aren't getting paid already. So, if you triple their salary, 0 times 3 is equal to, well, 0. So, simple math is, you're still going to be earning money from them working. Now, it's very important for them to work. You want to make sure you kill as many of the enemies, because, you know, enemies have something called wallets. But I'm starting to think you're getting the point. Kill as many as you can, steal the wallets, get more workers. Simple. And as soon as the voices inside your head stop, oh my god, what the hell have I been doing? Oh right, Starlight Inquisition. Let's get to the last part that's actually hard, killing last raiders. If you use enough work power, you should be able to quickly deal with them. Now, here you can see how I body blocked the last raider with my friend. Now, a last raider is very mobile and it's able to kill one of your workers every turn. Now, keyword 1. It is unable to kill multiple, so make use of this. Put multiple workers in its path. Eventually, there will be so many workers that it just can't escape. It will die. It's its only option. And that's when you get the 5 ticks reward for killing something. And now I'm just going to leave it off here before the voices come back. Okay. Now, remember, it's very important to force your workers to work. Say things like, if you don't work, you'll starve. And we pay you more than our competitors. Because if you don't, they will leave, and that is unprofitable. Business will have to continue some way. So, make sure that your workers are working. Now, if you see a last raider like I've seen here, you can always make sure to surround it and make our workers work. The minerals that will be obtained from a high-tech tank should be enough to pay for any casualties. I mean, we're paying them 0 per casualty, so you could probably pay off casualties if you had nothing. So make sure to remember to work. You must work. You work, and you'll not be paid, and you'll love it.